Hello, hello. All right, we are back with Starfield. Why? Because I like to. Also, because it's I like playing this game kind of as a cozy game where I'm just kind of chilling. I just drop in, just see what's there. This keeps popping. There we go. We want to continue from where we were. Double check. Yeah. So it looks like we've got 4 hours in. I have been rolling around. This is where I landed. That was almost 3 hours in. About an well, about 2 hours later, I'm probably halfway through what I want to do on Jemison. So what I'm doing is I am doing a bunch of easy fetch quests on Jemison in order to rank up and build experience and skill points that I'm going to use for later on. And I have got this set in my settings. The gameplay options just jammed over so that I'm getting almost twice as much experience as I would otherwise. Because there's nothing on Jemison except one thing that we may run into. There's nothing on Jemison that's likely to kill you. And what I want is by the time I get ready to start the Vanguard and the rest of the constellation quests, I want to be able to rack up my piloting really quickly and then apply the skill points right away. As soon as possible, the first one I want to max out is going to be this piloting because I want the larger ships, and then the rest I'll take at a slightly slower pace. At that point, I may go over into the combat tree or into, well, the science tree is actually pretty cool if you want to do any kind of design or engineering or upgrading. The survey one gets you the ability to scan and record things faster. So as you start moving out into the galaxy, it gets easier to do. Particularly if you're scanning the critters, if you're scanning the animals. What am I doing? Frontier. I want to come back here. I want to sleep for an hour or so. Because after you've slept, I went and got, this is a mod spacesuit. It's a free mod from Bethesda, so it's achievement friendly. And let's do 6 hours. When you sleep, you get a little XP boost. So we'll go ahead and take advantage of that, and also allow us to, I haven't tried this. Okay, you cannot fast travel from inside the spaceship. I guess you can go to your map. Stuff over here. Oh yeah, that's stuff that Barrett left behind. Oh, it's so dark out. I was thinking I would sleep until daylight. Oh well. Now to do Nias's thing. This is the door you want to open, but if you walk up to it, this guy's going to intercept you. And it's a persuasion check to see if you can get past him or not. I did go ahead and steal the key card, but I don't remember how to steal the key card and use it without getting caught. So let's go ahead and give ourselves a bit of a boost. Or or persuasion. Hey.
This really isn't a good place for civilians to be hanging around. There's something I can help you with?
Let's see.
Not really sure. Whenever they get through their backlog, I guess. There a reason you're asking?
Well,
Yeah.
that didn't get me anything.
I can't really just let you in there.
You have to keep the rules. I admire someone who respects the rules.
Finally, someone who gets it.
He always likes that one. I know you'd help me out if you could.
Yeah, I hope so. All right, look,
There
don't
we
tell
go.
anyone I did this for you. Could lose my job over it. If anyone asks, I had nothing to do with this. You got it? 1 second. All right, make it quick, will you?
I think you can take anything that's in here, but I don't usually steal anything except Nessa's package. Supplement, thanks. The other alternative is to talk to him, fail, wait for him to go away. Sometimes you can pick the lock. I stole a UC security card from Sergeant Yummy. Oh, that's right. There's this thing too when you're coming down. They're always at the end of this.
A diplomatic visa? You got to be kidding me. Envoys haven't needed diplomatic visas since the Colony War.
The law's the law, sir, and that one's still on the books. New Atlantis Security Charter 2308 Addendum, Article 2, Section 8.
Ludicrous. You made all that up. There is no such addendum. The war ended almost 20 years ago. I am Representative Evans Chisholm of the Freestar Collective. I've been coming here for months trying to ensure continued peace.
I don't make up the laws, Representative. I just enforce them. You have a good day now. Someplace else.
So we have a new activity, which is talk to the representative.
What? Can't you see I'm dealing with something? I apologize for snapping. No, I'm definitely not all right. I've got work to do at the embassy. And our overly diligent security officer over there won't let me enter the city. Claims I need a diplomatic visa, which I have never needed before in all the time I've visited New Atlantis. Oh, really? And here I am biting your head off. Apologies. Look, if you have time, could you please go to the Freestar Collective Embassy and speak to a diplomat? They'll know what to do. Thank you. I'll wait here until the embassy sends the cavalry. Not like I have much choice.
So our good deed for the day. We can go to the embassy and speak to a diplomat, or... Now, in order for this to work, you have to have at least 1 point into the security skill.
Can I help you?
And then you will see this dialogue option that starts off with security in parentheses. Your anger with that man seems so personal.
Well, I mean, yeah, I won't deny it. Freestar politicians coming here like they own the place. Peace my ass. What's so peaceful about breaking the armistice? Everyone knows they're doing it. Everyone. Worst kept secret in the settled systems. My uncle died in that war. You know what I'm saying?
And so you can either escalate this for the representative, or you can de-escalate it, which is the option that I always go with. Of course, that's not the representative's fault now, is it? You should let it.
You're right. I shouldn't take that stuff out on people. It's not the representative's fault. I'll go talk to him, clear it all up. Thank you. Representative Chisholm, I double-checked the
There and have a little
regulations.
talk.
We made a mistake.
Oh, did you now? Your malicious harassment was just a mistake? A clerical error?
Just trying to apologize, Representative. You're free to enter the city, and, your experience with us wasn't up to our usual standards. I'm sorry.
Finally, some admission of fault. That's the kind of honesty I've come to expect from UC Security. Thank you. I'll be on my way now.
So now talk
It
to the
appears that
representative.
UC Security has seen reason. Don't think I didn't notice you talking to that Officer Wills just before he came over to apologize. Here, a little token of appreciation from the Freestar Collective.
So it gives you some XP and some money. Ow! Taking things under my desk. Alright, and another thing we want to look for here is Tommy.
Unregistered armor.
Hey! Hey, you! You have a minute?
Well, whoever
I need
made
to talk
that,
to you.
tell 'em to get a license.
You're the one that was on Vectera, right? You flew in on the, Frontier. I knew it! Tommy Bitlow, SSNN research intern. Word is the Frontier was involved in an attack? It's true, right? You saw... This is great! Great! My boss, Nadia Mufaz, would kill to talk to you. An actual eyewitness! There's credits in it for credible newsworthy information.
I could use the money.
And easy money, too. Just go to the SSNN building. It's not far. Keep it up, Tommy. You're killing it.
Keep it up, Tommy. You're killing it. Alright, what we want to do next. That's off-world, that's off-world. She can wait. We need to take things back to Nysa.
You will be scanned as you enter the city. Please.
Yep. You'll notice if you leave and come back here, the guy who was standing in the corner has vanished.
Good to see you
Here.
again. Can I get you something? Hey there, new girl. Good to see you again. Can I get you something?
I have a present for you.
Oh, no way. You really got it? I probably don't want to know what you did to get this, right? I mean, I want to know, but it's maybe better if I don't. You really do love your jokes. You are joking, right? Well, look, I can assure this will all be worth it in the end. On top of that, you get free drinks. Not like unlimited free drinks, but you want a little pick-me-up now and then? I got you covered. I need some time to work on what comes next. Stop by anytime you want to.
She will occasionally give you rumors, but not always. One thing that is different between this and Skyrim is that doing favors for people does not mean you can ransack all of their stuff and take things. Activities. Oh yeah, talk to Sergeant Yumi. Check your ship's inventory. We can do that later. Reserve. Investigate brownouts in the well. We'll do that one next. But before then, we'll just bop over and talk to the sergeant.
Ah, crime has slowed down since you started helping out. It's a lot of work, as always. People like to say, New Atlantis is the safest city in the settled systems. How hard could your job be? Well, safety doesn't happen by accident.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Something just came in. Scuffle over at the Dawn's Roost. Security on site handled it, but now one of them is saying the other guy stole his wedding ring. Problem is, He left without identifying the perp, so I need you to talk to Royce Elgin at the Dawn's Roost. See if you can fill in the gaps. Good. Report back here when the matter's resolved. Take care.
This is a fun one, but we're gonna go over and do the well first, because I think if we go downstairs, we have to come back up by the Dawn's Roost anyways. So we might as well just roll them together. Still haven't found anywhere to buy the stuff we need to sort out the robot that's down there.
Hey, no funny stuff with that pack.
There are always about a million things to do, and I'm only one person. It's so overwhelming. Hey! Oh, you're not Carl. Sorry, I shouldn't assume. Maybe you go by Carl. You're just not the Carl I was waiting for. We're supposed to be investigating a power drain down here. I can't be in two places at once, and Carl isn't here. So I'm just trying to look inconspicuous. Well, since you're here and Carl isn't, and I really want to get this solved, I will take you up on that. What I need is very technical. I can talk you through it remotely. I'm gonna head to the monitoring station. The first box we're looking for is over near UC Surplus. You know, Antonio's place. I can contact you once you get there.
Okay. Let's... have to make sure this is active. This is mostly a way to get familiar with the layout of the well and to meet all of the people. Oh, getting familiar with the layout of the well is a tall.
I think this is working. I only have a general view of things, but you should
Tall
need the first
order.
junction box. Look for it mounted on the wall. When you find it, open it up and flip the big switch. That's it. Great job. So that tripped the secondary breaker, and that goes to... Oh wow, really? They wired it like that? Jeez, okay. Okay, got it. Next one is way down past Jake's, and maybe up a story or two? It's a bit of a hike. Sorry.
I always have to turn on the little pathway with this one.
All right, you should be near the next junction box. This section isn't used very much these days, so maybe a little harder to see. That's the one. Next one's not too far. Dead end, right down from Jake's. Right under that apartment they've been trying to sell. Good luck with that, right?
Okay, so this apartment here is locked, and if you can unlock it, there is a killer robot dog in there, and obviously with my current settings, I don't want to deal with it. And there's not really all that much else that you get in there. So I am going to skip that. It can be deceptive though, because the little blue dot is sort of in that general vicinity. It may look like you're supposed to go through there. You're really not. So there's Jake's. And in fact, here's our little robot friend.
Near the next junction box. And if those squatters never cleared out, I would suggest avoiding eye contact. It should be...
Are you a squatter? Should I be worried about you? Hmm. 2 power circuits. I haven't found any power circuits.
Another switch flipped, another lead to follow. And the lights in here just flickered too. The wiring is worse than I thought. I'm going to work on fixing that little issue while you find the next junction box. Looks like it's over near the Trade Authority. Okay, just find that and, maybe don't talk to anyone about it just yet.
This one wants you to go up these stairs and around the corner and in here.
Okay, the final box I need you to deal with should be right around there. Unfortunately, I just realized you're in for a real tangle of cabling. Like 200 years of field attempts to rewire things. I tried to fix it 3 years back and was crying by the second day. Gave up on the third. Anyway, there should be a series of secondary breakers you need to deal with before you can access the junction box. I don't remember the order, but flip levers until all those circuits are powered down.
I think this is RNG because I've struggled sometimes with these and had to just sort of go back and forth along the row, flipping whatever happened to be handy. You don't also have to close the doors. I'm just being a bit of a neat freak. Either way, you want to flip them on and off in combination and then one by one and then all in a row and then back and forth and just
Wow,
until this opens.
You saved me like a week of work. Why didn't you meet me at the monitoring station, near where we met?
There's the way back, but you can just jump. I think I have my crowd settings higher than usual. There seems to be more people. Come on.
Did I say thank you? Because thank you. There's no way I could have done that in a reasonable amount of time all by myself.
Happy
Well,
to
not
help.
everyone would be, and I appreciate it. Thanks to your help, I was able to trace the power drain. Unfortunately, the source is exactly where I was afraid it was. The Trade Authority. So that's something that I'll need to deal with. That'll be fun. If you want to tag along, I certainly wouldn't complain. But if not, then this is where we part ways.
Alright, I want to talk to her real quick. Again.
So thanks to you, we've got evidence that the Trade Authority is behind the power drain being reported down here. I don't know if you ever dealt with the Trade Authority, but Zoe is intimidating. I have to go in there, but I really, really don't want to. Thanks.
I got your
that
back.
means a lot. I can do the talking, I think. Just be ready for, well, anything.
There is a safe in here that you can unlock if you want to. I don't usually bother. I don't think there's anything particularly fun in there. Duck in here and
I've got limited
duck in here. Come back to all of these places eventually later. But honestly, you just kind of have to wait for Louisa to wander over.
Hey there.
She's moseying. She's coming. She's coming. I think you're supposed to like let her come over on her own and then come into the Trade Authority later and find the two of them having this argument with each other. But I like to string it all together in one thing and then I can declare it closed and that'll be the end of that. There's a couple more levels at least worth down here in terms of XP that's available. And we gotta go to Tommy's little mini quest and talk to Nadia as well. Nadia, I think that was her name.
A visit from Mast. How delightful. You'll have to remind me of your name, dear. I'm afraid I can't keep track of all you little worker drones.
I'm Luisa Reyes. Well, you know that, because I've been in here 3 times.
Yes, of course you are. And what was it you were accusing me of with absolutely no evidence?
The power drain is coming from your building, Zoe. You and I both know it, and now I can prove it.
I'm sorry, what?
We traced the drain, checked the grid. It led us here. You can't talk your way out of this.
I'm going to ask you to wait here a moment. I'll be right back.
Okay, just be ready for anything. I don't want this to turn out violent if we can avoid it, okay? Okay, you're probably right. Just need to breathe.
Unclench, lady. You're nice, but you're a little paranoid about Zoe. Actually, we're not waiting for Louisa, we're waiting for Zoe.
I apologize for not taking this matter more seriously. I assure you, I will eagerly assist in getting to the bottom of this.
No, you're not weaseling out of this. We got to the bottom of it. You are the bottom.
I appreciate your enthusiasm for your work, but I'd do a little more research before casting aspersions. Someone has indeed been using this location through which to route electrical power. It is not the Trade Authority. I've had my suspicions for a while, and I've been keeping detailed notes, which I'm happy to share with you. For now, though, what do we do next?
Wait, what?
Oh, for heaven's sake. I presume you've been assisting Miss Reyes in tracking down this little problem. Well, clearly there's more work to be done. Why don't you continue the work you've been doing? I'll coordinate things here with Miss Reyes. Presumably, you're the one who's been doing the field work, so I believe you'll find there's another junction box out there in the well that needs your attention.
Okay, well, this is not how I saw this going. For the moment, let's assume this is all legitimate.
Yeah. We're going. This is up and around. I really do need to either remember this from last time or turn on your little doohickey.
I have half a man behind you, just like Katie.
Alright, it's over there. Keep an eye on the floor because there is a hole in the tunnel, which I have discovered occasionally without.
Hey there. You should be getting close.
There we go.
Hello? Is this functional? I insist that you provide updates for any suspicious activity. Is that clear?
And Zoe's here too, if you hadn't guessed. We've agreed to work together on this. Once you throw the switch, we can direct you to the next junction box. That's it, thanks. Let's just take a look here. Okay, you're going to want to head for box 45A. It should be near Apex Electronics.
You can't possibly be serious. Are you looking at the same diagram I am? 47B is obviously the next one. It's on the same level.
Zoe, I know how to read. Ignore her. Head for box 45A, okay?
So they're arguing. It doesn't really matter which one you choose, but I like Louisa more. Well, I like annoying Zoe. So, you know. If you go back all the way you came, you're going to walk past Zoe's choice. So I can just drop down here. That's not what I meant to do. Oh, because I have my fall. Maybe I have my fall damage turned up too high. All right, let's. Ooh, have a slightly softer landing there. Let me through. Let me through. Over by Apex Electronics. That is Henrik here. And... oh, it still wants us to go up there. I think it's up here. You may end up going back where you came anyways. Here. No, this is back where we came. Here we go. Ah, this looks familiar. I think you go up here. Yes.
Thank you for trusting that a lifelong employee of Mass knows what she's talking about.
Oh, please.
I'm sure you can handle whatever challenge might be associated with reaching the box. You're doing great. And that was indeed the correct junction box. See that, Zoe?
Yes, fine. Let's move on.
Okay, just making sure you saw it. So, now things get interesting. I can't find the next spot on any of my current diagrams.
And I can begrudgingly confirm that she's reading them correctly. We've reached the conclusion that it must be somewhere on the surface, outside the well. Miss Reyes has suggested that this means it's somehow no longer her responsibility. I frankly don't care. I want to find this person.
And here's where I begrudgingly agree with Zoe. It's not technically my problem at this point, but I want to see what this trail leads. If you head topside, I'll pull the diagrams we'll need and contact you.
Okay, so they want us to go up and over to the residential district, which we can do here.
Miss Reyes is still collecting the necessary diagrams and blueprints to accurately assess the situation. Before she returns, I'm going to make you an offer. Whatever you find at the end of this path, you bring it to me first. I'll be certain that Mast gets what it needs, but I trade in valuable information. I suspect you're going to find some. I guarantee you the Trade Authority will pay well. Consider that as you head towards the residential district. We can't pinpoint the source yet, but it's somewhere over there.
So just keep to the right as you're going, and you get this little shortcut under the bridge, and you're looking for one of these towers over here. Past Reliant Medical. Should have talked to Nadia before I talked to Luisa. I don't remember that.
Monday, I'm gonna leave New Atlantis.
Well, that's unexpected. Powering down that junction doesn't show any other connections.
Clearly, the source must be inside that residential tower.
Yeah, that would make sense. You know, I think I remember seeing a report about power problems on one of the upper floors. I bet it's related. See if you can get up there.
Last minute check. Breath? Check. Shower? Hair? Check and double check.
TMI? Check. So this is a lockpicking challenge. And you can see that we now have our little clues in hand. You do that? No, you won't. Interesting. You're too narrow. So it must be you. If it's blue, it means it can in some way be slotted into these, but the issue is this one, we slotted into both. You can see the inner ring there is blue as well as the outer ring, but these two can only, actually this one can go into that one too. This one cannot go here, so it helps to narrow down some of the options. Now, this wants to be there. Ooh. Yes, there we go. You and then you. It's kind of a learn by doing thing. It eventually becomes a little easier, or well, at least a little faster. Download files, recent messages. So these are, they're stealing from Galbank essentially, electronically. And it requires a bunch of stuff. No one ever comes. It would be kind of funny if someone came back while you were doing that. You had to talk your way out of it. So you have to retrace your steps now. Back to... swing down. If you swing over to the right, you'll find out your way back to the lodge, but the shortcut, where's the shortcut? Yeah, there are stairs up there on the other side of Reliant. I swung too far over too quickly. You head back to the Embassy District until you get to the subway.
One day, I'm gonna leave New Atlantis for good.
Pile up. There we go. So they're both waiting for you back at the Trade Authority. And just walk up to the person you like better.
In space. Just do us all a favor and never turn into one of those spacers. Scum of the galaxy.
Wake up. Here we go.
Even the Crimson Fleet don't trust them.
Great. I'll get this back to Mass for analysis. I'm not stupid. I know Zoe probably made you an offer. I appreciate that you didn't take it. And I'm really glad we got to work together on this.
That's right. I'm a good person. Also, I don't need Zoe's money.
In fact, looks like maybe they did. Still want to claim you had nothing to do with this, Zoe?
My dear, why in the world would I want to break the law? And Galbank, no less. I do quite enough business with them as it is.
All right. Well, I'll have some people look over this. Maybe they'll be in touch.
I very understand.
Alright, so the next one we'll do is straight out here and down these stairs. He's a very nice man, but I don't feel the need to listen to his dialogue.
Welcome to the House of Enlightenment. Perfect.
I'm looking for
Just so
work.
happens there's a task I need help with right now.
Uh-huh. What a welcome coincidence.
Sometimes it just works out that way. People with mutual interests seek each other out, and as for the job, I need you to pick up a man named Tahir over at the med bay. He's recovering from some injuries and needs... I'd like you to pick him up, grab a bite to eat, and take him home. Great. You'll find him over at the med bay. He's probably hungry, so after you pick him up, escort him over to Kay's. She should have a meal ready for him to take home. And thanks.
Oh, he pays up front. And then there's a little room down here. If you chose one of the backgrounds that gets you a box somewhere, I think it is not down there. It's the raised and I think it's the raised enlightened box. Maybe it doesn't spawn if you don't pick that background. Or maybe I walked right past it. It's down here somewhere. Yeah, maybe it doesn't spawn if you don't take the background or take the trait. It's one of the traits having to do with the religion. The hero is also very nice. I like him a lot, but we don't have to listen to all of him.
This is the last time I'm gonna offer.
I don't need your help. I can walk home on my own.
Suit yourself. But if you get lost or end up in a cell, don't blame me. I tried to help. Gotta call someone's power kept going out. Know what it was? A heat leech as long as my leg.
Yeah. Hey, you wouldn't happen to know where the soccer nets are? I got a bad case of the brain fog, and I can't seem to remember which way... Really? Is this some sort of scam? I'll have you know, I got no creds. Andy, sing. Well, if I'm gonna owe anyone, I'd rather it be the house than the UC. All right, you win. Seeing as I got no one else, might as well roll the dice with a stranger. So, go on, lead the way.
Alright, so just go ahead and slow walk over towards the blue dot. The graffiti here. They're not messing around. You hustling? You hustling. There we go. Talk to the lady in the pink shirt.
To see her for. Do you know why this place has... I've got it right here. Is this for you to hear?
Well, I don't have any credits, so...
Then you're good. I already talked to Andy, and this one's on the house.
Thanks, Kay.
You're welcome, kid. You know, there was a time when you'd be in here every night.
Things change, Kay.
I know. Believe me, I know. And I get it's hard to come out here, but just... don't be a stranger, okay?
I'm sorry. I'll try not to.
Good. I'm glad we got that sorted. Here's the soup. Be careful, it's a little hot.
Everyone's welcome, so long as you keep your hands to yourself.
Alright.
Understand?
Now back the other way. And Tahir's apartment is essentially right behind... Oh, that's right. I have to go do the dawn roost. Tahir's apartment is right behind here over by Jake's. And again, just walk over here.
Ah, here we are. Home sweet home. At the end of the day, home is home. But thanks for the help. Oh, right, the soup from Kay's. Man, it's been a long time since I had a warm meal. Kay's food is the best in the well, so it wouldn't surprise me. Before I got hurt, I used to stop by Kay's every night for a soup and a sandwich. It didn't matter how bad my day was. As long as I had my food and my beer, I'd be good. And to be honest, I haven't felt that feeling in ages. So, you doing this for me, it means a lot. Thanks.
It was nice meeting you.
I don't have a lot of connections around here. Not anymore, anyway. I appreciate meeting someone I can call a friend. Thanks.
Okay. That did get us a level up. And we need to go do Break of Dawn. That is over by the SSN building anyways. So it also wants us to go talk to Kelton. Kelton is not up there.
I have 3 projects that are back burner.
Yeah, some of these NPCs are really nice. You don't see them very often, but you don't really see them again. They don't have any follow-up, which I do kind of wish was an element here. Like, Louisa could just hustle you all over the well, having you do things. Kelton, on the other hand, has just got all sorts of stuff going on.
If I move back to Neon, I'd miss New Atlantis like crazy.
Ah, well, isn't this a pleasant surprise? I hadn't expected to run into you again. Yes, well, I had good reason to be distressed. You had already helped me establish that there is something unprecedented going on with this tree. Now my superiors have been made aware. There is growing concern. The data we gathered points to a definitive trend. The vibrations coming from this tree are increasing in strength and frequency. Because we've never seen this before, not on this scale, we have absolutely no idea what the upper limit is. It's imperceptible by normal human standards now, but given time. I am attempting to formulate one, yes. But until I have all of the relevant information, it is impossible to do so. There is data regarding other, younger members of the species. Unfortunately, there are some, shall we say, personal issues with acquiring it. Personnel issues, if you understand me.
Let me guess. Co-worker and jilted lover.
What? No, that is ridiculous. I am a professional. One of the other researchers in MAST, Emilio Hadek, has research I believe could be vital to my work here. He and I don't see eye to eye, and so far he's refused to turn it over to me. I'm hoping that if someone else were to ask, he might be more inclined to relinquish it. What do you say?
I get it. You want me to squeeze him and make him squirm.
I suggested nothing of the sort. Although, now that I think about it, I confess, I wouldn't mind seeing that. Anyway, no. I just need his data. I am sure that can be acquired without force, or the threat of it. 90% sure. The last time I saw him, he was being assigned to sample collection out...
Alright, we will go find Emilio, who is over here by the lodge. And he will send us on the next part of the quest. Past the swirly gig. There we go. You sometimes have to talk to him once or twice to get him to put away his clipboard.
Important research happening here.
Sure it is. There we go.
Could you stand a little to the left? I think you're blocking my readings. What? You've got to be kidding me. Is he seriously that desperate? No. No way. Kelton is actively ruining my career. There's no chance that I'm helping. Whatever this thing is he's on about, he's just doing it to make himself look good with the higher-ups.
Colton says this isn't about him. Lives could be at stake.
Right. Of course, we're all in danger. Trees are involved after all. He really won't let this go, will he? Maybe I can make this work in my favor. Okay, you know what? I'll hand over the data. But I'm only going to do so after you've helped me secure a better position in Mast. Oh, don't worry. You're just going to erase some files for me. Make sure I look good next time promotions get passed around.
That sounds shady.
Well, then I guess we don't have anything else to discuss. See you around. Changed your mind, did you? Wait, really? Wow. Okay. Okay. I've gotten a few bad performance evaluations. I found a backdoor into the Mast network so I could make... The only way to get access...
There was an option that would trigger a persuasion check.
Locked.
Oh, here we go. So it's doubly illegal. How about you give me Kelton's data now and we skip the rest?
Sorry. That's not on the table.
There has to be a way.
And I already explained exactly what it is. Advancing my career is the right thing to do. So
I'm gonna lose this one. You're really starting to annoy me.
Okay, let's just keep this civil. Okay, look. Just hear me out, all right? I really need this to happen. If you do this for me, I can make it worth your while. You delete that data, I get promoted, I'm pulling in a bigger salary. I can compensate you. I'll throw in some extra credits for you, okay? A nice little bonus.
Fine.
Oh, good. Thank God.
I'll do it for the
You really had
credits.
me on the ropes there. Listen, this will be good for the both of us, okay? Just get in, access her terminal, delete the files, and get out. Really simple. Best of luck out there.
Alright. So the persuasion check is just to tell you whether or not you're going to get the bonus. And it's over here. Ooh. Into random apartment building number 2.
I officially passed my certificate. You're looking at a genuine spaceport.
There we go. As far as I can tell, there's no way to get caught doing this or that other one that we were doing. So just have a go at it. These sort of triangular ones usually, or Y-shaped ones. Usually just require... Yeah. You don't need that. These sometimes need to be flipped to the other side. For example, you can try footing like this, but they kind of don't overlap. Sometimes they overlap, sometimes they don't. If that makes any sense. Which it probably doesn't. Alright. Kind of funny here. You can look and see what it was that Emilio did. Disciplinary issues. Mr. Haddock refused to carry out assignments, stating they were beneath him, and there are plenty of idiots who can scrape bark. Nice. Yeah, that sounds about right. Kelton, on the other hand, was accused of attempting to ambush President Bello, stating it was a matter of imminent danger and life will find a way. Oh God, he's quoting Jeff Goldblum. I hadn't remembered that. Mr. Fresh would have been warned not to enter Central Command for a period of no less than 3 months. It does make a huge difference, but I like to purge Kelton's files as well, just to keep it even. Alright, back to Emilio. Hop, hop, bounce off the tree. There we go.
Data's right here, when you're done with your part.
Yeah, man.
You have some good news for me?
Your records
Sure
are now clear.
I took a peek on the network. You came through for me, so now I'll do the same for you. This slate has all the data Kelton needs. And because I am a man of my word, here are the extra credits I promised. Thanks again for helping me clean up that little issue. And once I get a fancy corner office in Mask, you should come over and we'll have drinks.
Sure. One of the things you can ask him is, what do you do exactly? He says, as little as possible. Which, yeah, sounds about right.
I hope we're not too late to avoid disaster. I hope you have the data. It's really... You're absolutely right. I don't want to know. I'm sorry if this was complicated. I'd prefer to remain unaware of the details in the event that it comes up later, particularly in a legal setting. And I suppose I'd better verify the data to make sure Emilio didn't double-cross me. But you have once again come
Emilio double-cross you.
hoping that this is the last piece I need to figure out what we can do. And I
I'm just
appreciate
doing my part.
Thank you for your assistance.
Alright, we gotta wait for Kelton to do Kelton-y things. And let's do a light in the darkness and then a break of dawn, which are kind of in the same place. Neat. We want Outland, Enhance, Whetstone. Actually, I think we're in opposite directions. Gooch. Dawn's Roost. Yeah, that's where we're going. We'll do Naughty after this then. Alright, talk to the guy behind the bar.
I do hope you are enjoying your time in New Atlantis. There is simply no parallel to the food you will find here. One taste, and I'm sure you'll agree.
A most unfortunate incident, complicated by the fact that both parties were inebriated. While I wasn't privy to the entire argument, Hugo and Octavio had been dining here together for quite some time. So, it was surprising to see them at each other's throats.
You can get more details about Hugo and Octavia, but this...
I assume that would be the slender gentleman, Hugo Fournier. He was the one who excused himself after UC security arrived. I believe he lives in Athena Tower, although he may be checking out soon. But I would start there.
Enjoy the rest of your day.
That is over this way. I mean, if you're gonna put a chunks next to the swanky tower, you'd at least swank up chunks. Yes, Athena Tower. I think the quest didn't update. But
yes.
Poor Hugo.
Oh, I can't believe that Octavio. That liar, that manipulator, that lying, cheating, foul piece of Dawn Glider dropping. If I had my way, I'd tie him to the back of a ship and jump it right into the nearest star. 5 years we were together, half a decade! And he threw it all away for that waiter. Not just dating, betrothed. And I have the engagement ring to prove it. It was supposed to be a romantic dinner, but an hour before, I decided to do some cleaning to calm my nerves. I picked up a pair of pants he left on the floor, and out falls a napkin from the Dawn's roost with a number written on the back. To think he had the audacity to schedule a date with me at the same restaurant? I was livid! Still, I went to the date and held it together just long enough for the waiter to serve us, then I went off! He would say that, but as far as I'm concerned, it's my property. He gifted it to me when he proposed. It's not his to return.
Yeah. All right. If you want to try the persuasion check, it's kind of funny. Or you could just agree with him.
I'm glad you could see reason. This ring is going to fund a very long vacation across the settled systems. Maybe I'll even take pictures.
If you persuade him, he'll give you the ring back. If you successfully persuade him, he'll give you the ring back. At which point... Where am I going? Actually, let's do... Fairview, transit station, the viewpoint, the frontier, New Atlantis. Let's do the viewpoint. If he gives you the ring, you can either take it and give it back to Sergeant Yubi, or you can be all, ring? What ring? Don't know what you're talking about. And you can keep the ring. But I kind of like the idea of Hugo keeping it and selling it and going off among the stars. And it doesn't really get you into trouble. Or at least I've never had it get me into trouble. So I'm going to assume it doesn't really get you into trouble. Alright, I'm gonna wait for you to stop moving, because last time...
Officer, what can I do for you? Ah, perfect. Did you manage to get the ring back? Ugh. Really? I should have known this was a waste of time the moment I laid eyes on that drunk. That's on me. Without saying names, there are some people in this city who treat us like their personal security service. But you know how it goes. Sometimes we protect, other times we serve. Either way, I'm still going to pay you for your time. Here, take this. It's well deserved.
Okay, and that's another XP boost. Now, in order to do the rest of the well, we want to go to commercial. Go to the Terror Brew up there. Citizens, get out of the way. I'm attempting to fast travel. It's not necessary to do any of this in any order. It's not necessary to do any of this at all. I just get a kick out of it. I enjoy the conversations. And it's a pleasant way to grind up experience that does not involve hitting things. Although hitting things can be fun too.
You can't go in. You just can't.
But David's my friend. He writes me.
I hate to break it to you, but his PA is the one who signs all those cards and headshots. Mr. Barron's a very busy and important man.
But I came all this way.
And put on my sparkly gold out jumpsuit.
Do you have a story for me or not? Welcome to SSNN, where the news never sleeps. If you're part of the David Barron fan club, try not to inflate his ego too much. He's liable to burst.
Nice to meet you, too.
Sorry. Long day. Longer night. Let's take a look at you. You're not from around here. I bet you have a story or two.
Actually, your intern asked me to do an interview.
Tommy? Tommy did something useful? So you must be the captain of the... Frontier? I'm interested only in primary sources. So, what do you got for me?
I'm cutting her off a little bit because she goes on for a bit longer than you really need, but she's okay.
Looks like some Crimson Fleet brainiac figured out it's easier to hit stationary targets than dogfighting in the field. And you are an eyewitness with the courtesy to find us instead of being chased down. So what were the pirates doing there?
Now, based on what you tell her will change the news story you hear over the loudspeakers in some areas, but it doesn't really change the actual play of the game. So I tend to go with the fairly benign answers.
So what's your role in all this?
I was one of the miners. You can boast about yourself, or you could boast about Constellation.
So we've covered the basics. How'd a bunch of miners triumph? Huh. Sounds like a good outfit. The heroic miner is a good angle. This is a good local story. Plucky miners band together and punch above their weight. If you ever get more stories like this, drop by. And take this to cover any incidentals, or other creative ways to pad out an expense report.
So she gives me a little XP, a little money, and she has other stories.
About some of the businesses in the well right now. I'm not sure the story will get off the ground, though. They'd probably be all for it if David asked. Would you really? Great. I had 3 interviewees in mind. You don't need to ask too many tough questions. I really can't thank you enough.
Alright, so this is just another way that the game is getting you down into the well to wander around. Okay, you are that, you are that. Why not found that? Oop, sorry. Why not run up to that particular transit station? Don't mind me. There we go. Yeah. What I really want to do is go to... well, I think this is one of the elevators. Here we go. Which elevator are you? You're the elevator in the mass station. Either way. I still can't fix the robot. So these folks actually will solve Nadia's issue, and once you've done that, they will have their own quests.
3 gunshots this week alone. A journalist? I'd be happy to help if I can. Things are always rough at the med bay. I'm the closest thing to a doctor that the well has, and I can't treat everyone. The last few weeks have been especially bad. It just breaks my heart to see. Oh, you're sweet to offer. There might be something you can do, if you're willing. let's chat again when you have some time to spare, all right? Sure, if you'd like. My name's Talia. I was born and raised right here in the well. I've been the nurse here at the med bay for over a decade. Once upon a time, I was a combat medic for the UC Navy. All right, dear. You let me know if there's anything else I can do for you.
I don't think how many questions you ask makes much difference to the quest either. Nadia essentially just says yep, 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 and then gives you your money and ends it.
No shortage
And
of
this
hungry
is the
mouths to feed around
other
here.
person to talk
If
to.
you haven't, make sure you say hello.
Absolutely. I'm sure my mom would be proud to have the place featured in an article.
Business is steady, as usual. We don't tolerate violence or disrespect, so a lot of folks like to spend time here.
The only thing that's worrying me is a new group of customers I've seen hanging around lately. They've been watching the UC Surplus store pretty closely. I have a bad feeling they might be planning something. Honestly, I'd really appreciate that. Why don't you come by when you have some spare time? And we'll talk it out.
Yeah, sure thing. I'm Teresa Mason, and this is my home. My mom's the Kay who founded Kay's house. I grew up here along with the business. My mom passed the place on to me when she decided to retire. Running it is my pride and joy. I've put everything I have into it.
Great. Let me know when the article comes out, will you? I'd like to read it.
Kitten, why are you here? So she says that she's worried about these guys who are casing the joint. The doctor said something about kids who were really sick. But I cut her off before she get to the details. Those are the two quests you can pick up when you come back. Kitten, why are you joining me? You can't sit there. All right, you can sit there, but you have to sit over here. Here you go. The last place is, what's his name over here?
Here is no loitering, okay? I don't have to pick a reporter. Fine, but I'm only talking basics. I don't like people snooping around my business. Door's still open, isn't it? That's my idea of success. Sorry,
all right then.
Hoping for something more flowery.
Mm-hmm. That should be enough.
Now why don't you help me out and buy something? Can't say I'll have what you need. You see something
Don't
you
have
like?
what I need. I'm pretty sure you still don't have any power cells. I don't think the power positron battery is the one that I want. I mean, I could give it a shot, but usually they're fairly specific.
Stay safe out there.
Okay, now I have to go upstairs anyways to talk to Nadia. Might as well shortcut over here and see if the robot can be fixed. You want batteries? Yeah, no, 2 power circuits. They definitely want power circuits. Last time I bought them from Henrik, even though he was a bit of a pill. I'm not sure where it expects me to buy them now. I guess we could try...
Been up there, huh?
We gotta go back to Nadia. We could try UC Surplus. Or UC Not So Surplus. Miss Sang. Where's Kidney? Let's go over here and see if she has any power items. UC Supply Distribution Center. That's what it's called. This is new. The little robot is part of the free lanes, I think.
If you experience any issues in your dealings with the distribution center, let us know. Welcome to UC Distribution. Oh, well, certainly.
She has a little bit of just about everything, though. Except power supplies. Huh. Yeah, it's really annoying. I've got to carry around zero wire for a long time.
Come back if you need something else.
Oh well. Maybe it'll just be there. Maybe it expects me to make the stuff. These are fun.
Keep your nose clean. Last thing I want is to charge you for a DP. Am I right? Huh?
You talking it? You have another story for me? Hey, that's great! Glad to hear it. I'm looking forward to reading through your notes. I can't thank you enough for helping me out. Back to the grind.
Okay, if you do enough of her little chat quests, then you can get something out of it later on, but you can still get the thing done, so. Unfortunately, the game likes to assume that that's what you're doing next, even when there's nothing else going on. Rescue the bot, gem jealousy. Oh, I thought I was... I forgot about Guillaume. Oh well. We'll go back and talk to him. He lives in the downstairs Teru. Oh, that's something out in the distance. Commercial district. The Terra Brew. That's the Mass District. That's the Lodge. That's the Well. Interesting. You can't see downstairs from here. Yeah, well, in that case, might as well go use the gnat. Yep. Usually you can scan her and see the spaceport if you look down. But I wasn't getting it from there. Guillaume is just back here. I need to turn my crowds down. There's way too many people.
At this rate, I will... Ah, wonderful. I knew George would make the exchange. He could never resist foodware from Earth. You've done me a great service today, friend. Thank you for bringing it back to me. Take care.
And that's him done. Now we need to duck around the corner and go talk to Kay and Nurse. What's her name? Then we'll be just about done for things that can be finished on New Atlantis.
Take it personal if I don't stop. Everyone's welcome, so long as you keep your hands to yourself. Would you? I'd really appreciate it. I saw them hanging around the UC surplus earlier today. They sure looked suspicious to me. I'd rather you didn't. I want to make sure I'm right about this before we go to security. But I have to be sure they're up to something before I get the authorities involved. Why don't you do a little sleuthing for me? We can decide what to do once we figure out if they're really up to something.
So she wants you to go eavesdrop on our little friends over here. These two. Don't get too close to them, but they don't actually do anything if you do.
You see UC security around here? But nothing. I say we strike while the iron's hot. I got a feeling that goody two-shoes at Kay's place is gonna rat us out. She was giving us some serious side-eye last time we went there.
We're really just waiting for the quest to update.
Do it tonight. You'll be fine, trust me. You'll be in and out in time to make last call at Jake's.
There we go. No. I report back. It was there and then it vanished. Oh, and we can get another thing going here.
Something's wrong with the boots you sold me. I wear them to the metro. Suddenly, the shuttle runs late. I buy a cup of coffee, and the barista screws up my order. It's like I'm walking under ladders with a broken mirror in my pocket. And the only time it happens is when I'm wearing your boots.
So, what do you want me to do about it?
I don't know why the soundtrack is so aggressive in here.
Fine, fine. I'll take the boots back. Just don't tell anyone you bought them from here. Yes,
pilot
the real
exams.
New Atlantis is down here.
So
Stuff
hard.
tops.
I haven't seen the sunset in
Ugh,
days.
again with
My
these
last
boots.
night was your...
Ugh, right, the boots. I hate to admit it, but she has a point. She's the third customer to return the pair, all for the same reason. The boots might really be cursed.
Where did you get them?
Like most of my supply from one of my UC contacts. But after the second customer returned the boots, I got curious and I did some digging. Turns out they were seized from a House of Arun ship. That alone is enough to convince me something's amiss.
Have you tried destroying them?
And risk releasing whatever's inside them? I've seen enough horror vids to know how this goes. I don't doubt it. Either way, it's bad for business. Hey, you're a pilot, right? Maybe you can do me a favor. I've heard of a UC station at the far end of the galaxy called the Den. You go there and stash these boots in a crate, and I'll give you credits as a compensation.
Why not just jettison them?
Believe it or not, I actually tried that. And do you know what happened? Some UC pilot picked up the cargo and somehow it found its way back to my store. No, I wanted the boots gone. But I also want to know exactly where they are. Finally, someone to give these blasted boots the boot, if you pardon the expression. Here, I'll have your credits for you when the job is done.
So that's just another little quest. There's a bit of a flaw in his brilliant plan. Because, you know, he could just put them in his own closet and never wear them.
No shortage of hungry mouths to feed around here. Damn. I was hoping I had it wrong. I guess that settles it. You should take this straight to Officer Endler at the security office. If he gives you a hard time, tell him I sent you to make the report. Thanks. Let me know when you've made the report, okay?
Now, to be fair, I've never tested what happens if you try to pick a fight with the thieves yourself. Oh, they're over there like, I need to be a more self-confident thief. Maybe it's a persuasion tag.
Embassy district. Never a dull day for security in the well. Well, that's what we're here for. What's going on? The UC surplus. You sure about that? It's been a long time since someone was stupid enough to rob that place. That's so. Nobody in the well's more reliable than Teresa. If she says there's a problem, I believe it. You can tell her I'm personally looking into it. That should ease her mind. Those thieves won't be so cocky with security on patrol.
So he essentially just walks out the door, over to the side,
I've been to other stores, and they have the best deals in the entire...
and glares at them for a while.
They also beat any prices, provided it's advertised. Oh god, I'm doing it too.
And then just stands there glaring with his back to the everything that's going on. Alright.
That was quick.
Hey.
I knew
he's gonna patrol.
Deal. Thanks for your help with this.
So there's her. I'm up to level 10. That's fairly standard. I can usually get up to level 10, and that means that I can do all kinds of upgrades as I go. Security, for example, I'm working on. Boost pack training I could work on. I mean, I could go out and pick a fight with the skitterbugs and work on it outside on the city lawn, essentially.
I've got limited resources. Oh, you remembered. All the children seem to have the same stomach bug. But one of my colleagues, Dr. Lebedev, is an expert. If I had his research notes, I'm sure I could diagnose the disease and find a treatment.
I'll go with them.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. I'd go myself, but I can't leave the medbay unattended.
Alright. Dr. Lebedev is at Reliant Medical, which means if we go up here, there's 2 elevators. One goes up to Mast, yes, Mast train station. And the other one goes up to the spaceport. Might as well bustle over. Hey, Donna.
Hard enough to attract attention. The pirates expected easy prey, but instead they found more than they bargained for. A heated battle ensued between the Crimson Fleet and the miners. Armed with only their trusty mining lasers, the Argo's crew fought off the Crimson Fleet and defended their facility. A surprising turn of events and a victory for us all.
For us all. Yeah, that was the story that we fed to Nadia. I think it changes based on what you tell her, which options you choose. There's Reliant Medical. I always miss the door, though. That is not the door. Those are the windows. No, that is the door. Oh, for crying out loud. And the doctor's back here. He's another one of the ones that occasionally argues with the camera if you don't get him quick enough.
If you're injured or sick, we can almost certainly assist you. Welcome to Reliant.
A medical problem Talia can't solve. I never thought I'd see the day. Sick children. Well, we can't have that. Let's see. A stomach bug. I've treated plenty of those. I keep extensive notes. I'm sure I have something that can help. Ah, yes, here we go. This should do the trick. I've uploaded some of my notes on common stomach issues in pediatric patients to this slate. Please, pass it on to Talia. She can keep it. And give her my best, will you? I hope everything works out for those kids.
You can also buy medicine from all these folks. I don't know if you're infected with something or need HP boost, you can pay them to fix you up. Everything's beeping at me. No, kitten. Nearly ended up in the drink. My cat has joined me. She likes to rearrange the wires. There we go. Can you squeeze back there, kitten? Yeah? That's as far as it gets.
They're marking the middle of a busy spaceport. Although no one was injured except the tracker Starfield.
Sorry, still trying to figure out where the kitten's going to plant herself.
We're doing the best we can here. Really? Let's see. Ah, this is perfect. I knew Dr. Lebedev would have what I needed. I'll have this solved in no time with these notes for reference. Thank you so much, dear. Really. I couldn't have done this without you.
So, that brings us to the end of that. The boot means going off world. Shipment for Salinas is off world. Rescue the bot we haven't had any luck at. The grind can be best done in Neo. Back of the Terra Namada is not working. Parting gift is Sidonia. Truckers Alliance is Aquila. Wait. Talk to Kelton. Check the inventory. We can do that. Cardo is off world as well. Go talk to Kelton one last time. And then we can rest up before we go talk to Sarah about the constellation. Now, I like the constellation questline pretty well. I don't want to call it the main questline because, as far as I can tell, like a lot of Bethesda games, you can literally ignore it for hours and hours on end without having too much difficulty. You can just wander off and do completely unrelated things. You essentially steal their ship until you get one of your own. I did that one playthrough. I just went out kind of into the back end of New Atlantis and I scavenged for resources until I had enough for the smallest ship, or until I had a ship that landed near me, and then I you know, whacked everybody who was in it and stole their ship, and that became my ship, because then you don't need the frontier. It's still in your inventory weirdly, like it's yours, but it's not yours.
We might run into one another again. Your timing is most fortuitous.
You never seem to have all the information you need.
Uncharted territory here. It's inevitable. Of course, now that I understand more about what's going on, it seems plain as day. The tertiary trunks have also liquefied their interiors, but they're not vibrating. I thought perhaps it was some sort of defect, but it's much simpler. They're listening.
I don't understand what that means.
It means it is ready to reproduce.
Oh,
I believe
of course.
This tree is sending vibrations out over massive distances and expecting to detect sympathetic vibrations in return. As of yet, there's been no response.
Define bad news.
We're continuing to see an increase in the strength and frequency of the vibrations. I don't know how much more significant it'll become. If there's no response, the tree may vibrate itself and some nearby portion of the city to destruction. Now, as of yet, there has been no response. And clearly, none of the nearby individuals are a correct match. While it can't be ruled out that the intended recipient of these messages was cut down during the city's expansion, there is one other possibility. Over 100 years ago, the United Colonies and the Freestar Collective emerged from the Narian War. As a gesture of peace and goodwill, a near-literal olive branch, one of the trees from New Atlantis, was offered to the leaders of Aquila City.
Didn't seem to help much in the long run.
No, nor in the short run, as it turned out. Of course, you can't just uproot a native species and plunk it down on some other planet in a totally different environment and expect it to grow. Clearly, no exobotanists were consulted ahead of time. The end result was wholly predictable. The tree died within a few short years.
Clearly, no exobotanists were consulted. So that's a dead end.
Clever, but no, not necessarily. The tree died, yes, but branches were kept. At least one still exists in the museum there in the city. If I had that branch, I could get DNA samples, and then using various data I've gathered, I could attempt to simulate a response. We could then broadcast that response and hopefully calm down our friend here.
And we finally arrived at the point.
I'm afraid I can't be two places at once, and I have too much going on here. The museum in Aquila City is under the supervision of one Miss Kassler, I'm told. I don't know anything about her, but hopefully she'll be willing to listen to reason and assist our cause. All right, off you go. We don't have any time to waste.
Now he's like, of course she's going. So that gives us late bloomer. All of these can be done afterward. I'll go ahead and pop that one up just to remind me. Otherwise, I'm liable to forget it. And we will go back to the lodge and rest up and save from there before we talk to Sarah Cat. Honestly. I don't know how other streamers train their cats not to whack things around. So this is fair ways in terms of time. Like I say, it's not necessary to do this. I just like to. I enjoy it. And so I would rather spend a little bit of time up front than much time catching up later on. Although the game's pretty generous. It's similar to Skyrim in that account. As long as you just have your settings set properly, you can barrel through just about anything. Which reminds me, I had better check my settings before I save. Otherwise I may find things getting exciting. So it thinks this is gonna do that. We're gonna say the incursion chance should be normal. Enemy damage should be very easy. It doesn't and ship fights should be very easy. It doesn't penalize you for doing very easy. It just rewards you for doing harder. I'm going to turn off weighted ammo. I'm going to say carry capacity is normal. Distance is cargo access distance. So you can't, that means you can't stand outside your ship and talk to it. You could have to be inside your ship, which, let's see. Vendor credits reduced. I don't have a problem with the vendor credits. Medical item. I want it to give me more healing because that's something that I reach for randomly. The food healing I could almost leave at none simply because I always forget food is an option. But sometimes I like to scavenge around spaces and just consume things rather than pick them up and store them. Sleep healing, I'm going to say normal. Sustenance, we're going to say off. Conflict affliction, we're going to say normal. Affliction treatment is normal. Prognosis, normal. Environment, normal. We're going to do environmental damage restoration. Restored while waiting or sleeping in a breathable location unexposed to environmental damage. Oh, and limited resting means you have to be inside a ship, outpost, or settlement. So, any kind of rest. That's... we'll do normal. Aim assist greatly increased. That doesn't really matter. And these, I don't have a problem with these either. So we have a little bit of a buff from giving up some cargo access and carry capacity. Not enough to make a huge difference, but hey. So I'm going to go ahead and quick save. Going to sleep. It is going to autosave, and I'm going to go ahead and turn that off from here. I have 5 skill points, and the next thing that we're going to do is going to give us access to a way to really quickly and cheaply up our piloting skills, and so I'm going to try to get to at least the rank 3. It depends on how much patience that I have for doing it. A lot of this is just, I go until I get bored and then I go find something else to do. And security is still there, boost pack training is still there, targeting control. These two can also be pulled up naturally, but I might as well do them early and get them out of the way. An alternative once I have these skill points banked is to come over and do things like surveying, medicine, which will make you heal faster. If you think you're going to go a lot into combat, although there's plenty of combat in the game, you don't have to do skill points that way. Weightlifting would be a good one. Fitness would be a good one if you wanted to up your O2, because we're going to be doing a lot of running around, and that's the thing that prompts you to increase your O2 and max that one out. But we'll go ahead and work with what we've got. The other reason I like doing the piloting and the target control is they are a little bit fidgety, which means that I prefer to upgrade at the beginning and then I don't have to think about them again. So we'll do it this way. And I will leave it there and say thank you for watching. Talk to you later. Like, comment, subscribe, etc., etc., and so on. I'll see you next time.